Money. So he finally did it. Roger Waters had teased that he was doing a remake or redux of the Dark Side of the Moon album, the classic Pink Floyd record from 1973. And he's remaking it his way because it's his damn songs and he wrote it. So he wants to do a version that does not have the 4 original members, just him doing it the way he always imagined, I guess. So he dropped the single recently for Money, which was the biggest single off the Dark Side of the Moon record. It made for great radio play and all that. It's probably one of my lesser favorite songs off the album personally, but that's just because I'm a snarky hipster who doesn't like anything mainstream. So, I figured let's do a little review of this song. Let's listen to what Money is supposed to sound like in 2023 without all the pesky contributions from David Gilmour and Nick Mason and Richard Wright. This is Dancing with Ghosts.
Money.
Okay, first off, this song is like 15 BPM slower than the original, which strips away any kind of bounciness or life that can be found on the original song. The vibe of this new version of Money is very quiet and whispery. It's been robbed of the youthful vitality of the original version. This song feels like it's almost like afraid to make too much noise, like as if they were recording late at night and they didn't want to wake up their neighbors upstairs. Since this is a Roger Waters project, of course he's singing on the track instead of the original vocalist David Gilmour, which has an undebatably better singing voice than Waters. Roger Waters' voice is useful in the sense that he has certain little vocal tricks he can do that sound cool, like his screams and yelly type vocals he would do on the wall. He also had a creepy, in a cool way, lower register that he would implement throughout the golden age of Pink Floyd's career. On this song, however, Roger Waters sounds like a creepy old villain from some Harry Potter movie. He also phrases some of his words weird, like when he says, money. Just kind of turned me off immediately when I heard that. Also, since it's Roger Waters and he's like 80 years old, he's singing the song like 2 octaves lower than David Gilmour did in the original version, which I've always felt was a cop-out when covering or redoing a song. It's one thing to change the key and lower it a little bit to suit your vocals, but it's so lazy to take the melody down and transpose it a whole ass octave down to where you're basically just talk singing at that point instead of actually singing. Now, Roger Waters was never the best singer, but at least he had power in his voice back in the day. In this song, he sounds like he's about to fall asleep at any moment. Then there's this weird middle bit where Waters starts doing some spoken word thing, and honestly, it's pretty fucking cringy. And I know that word is overused, but that's the only word I could think of to describe what he starts doing. These are the new additional lyrics to Money. I will try to read it how he does on the song.
Welcome to hell. I'm sorry. I'll read that again. Welcome to rooftops. I'm sorry. I'll read that again. Welcome to the Starlight Room. I'm sorry. I'll read that again. Welcome to the underworld. And now for tonight's main event, the heavyweight, close swaddled in the clawing folds of fat. For heavyweight squats freak fearful on his stool, and through toad lids he squints his vision of the world. The grade parade of waiters and traders, retinue of course, seconds, thirds, and fourths, clean tick-like to his skin. The bell sounds in the corner of the ring, a fresh contender for his crown. He puts out his pale hand to shake before the bout. Champion blinks, his sticky tongue swallowing greed with copious speed snakes out. It's lights out for the kid, his grace and wit, in that split second plucked, sucked, dissolved, reduced, petty bulk digested shit. The champ, well satisfied, adjusts his sumo backside on the stool, draws round his clock, breaks wind out loud.
Yes, he actually says breaks wind in the song.
The crowd howls its approval, but in the shadow of the ring with cloven hoof and a crooked grin, the devil pats the briefcase that holds the Faustian pack. He smiles, enjoys his little joke, because he knows the champion's cloak is but a shroud in fact.
Like, what the fuck was that? Why did all that need to exist? Yeah, yes, Roger, we get it. Bob Dylan and Lou Reed are heroes of yours, so you're doing your best impersonation of coming off as poetic and erudite as those guys, but it fell flat for me. I might have thought something like this would have been like really cool when I was 15, but now it just comes off as cheesy and sanctimonious. And I will never forgive you for using the phrase break wind in a fucking Pink Floyd song. Oh, God. It's almost as bad as David Gilmour's "We bitch and we fight, diss each other on sight" off of Louder Than Words, which I bitched about in my second video I ever made on this channel. But anyway, you know, I can guarantee you Roger Waters is a huge asshole in person. To remake a song that you claim you wrote and disregard the talents of all your ex-bandmates really shows a lot about who you are as a person. And guess what? The new version sucks. You may have written the lyrics and came up with like the main riff, but the other members contributed so much of what makes the original so great. David Gilmour's vocals on the song could not have been sung by anybody else. His guitar playing. Then you got Richard Wright's tasteful electric piano, Nick Mason's understated yet appropriate drum work, Dick Perry's saxophone work towards the middle of the song. Teamwork, my dude! You can't do everything yourself. I'm sorry, there are very few songwriters out there that are able to sing, play every instrument, and write great lyrics and have it all be equally great. Maybe Prince or Trent Reznor or Dave Grohl can pull it off, but you, sir, need assistance from more talented musicians for some parts of your songs. Now, I will give it to Roger Waters. He's like the main drive shaft in a lot of Pink Floyd's best moments, but it would never have been nearly as great without the other three guys in the band, and saxophonist Dick Perry, of course. So yeah, more classic Roger Waters hubris at work here. I think 90% of people will listen to this song once out of curiosity and then never listen to it again. You're taking on literally one of the most legendary albums of all time that has been around for nearly 50 years. There's just way too much historical significance for you to ever come close to touching the greatness of any given song off Dark Side of the Moon. And if I were you, I would just continue to focus on creating original music rather than recreating poor facsimiles of great art. But that's just me. What do you think of the new Money Redux version? I think it re-sucks. Did you even remotely like it? I did not. Did not like it, and I can only imagine just how I don't want to say bad, because it's not like the song itself was bad. If it was its own song that had never existed, it would have been an okay song, but for it to be a redux of such a classic song, that part of it really sucks. And so the rest of the album is going to have that albatross around its neck of a 50-year-old, millions upon millions of records sold album that it is standing on the shoulders of. And I don't know why he's doing it. I guess it's just like, I'm old, I got the time, why not? So, I don't know. Tell me what you think. Until next time, have a good rest of your night.